Hello, Huntington. This is Steve. Hope everyone's doing well today. I want to let everyone know that I did get to attend the city council meeting last night, so I'm going to give a quick report. I want to ask why can you say that you did a report whenever you were banned from the meeting? However, the fact is the city council, the city manager, cannot ban a public citizen from a public building. It's against the law. It's a Class A misdemeanor. It has to be rescinded. Once realizing they had committed once they committed that they have admitted that they had committed a crime, they had it rescinded. However, the fact it does not change the fact that they initiated an illegal law that they didn't look up. They issued a false complaint. At the meeting, a lot of things were covered, so I'll go through them one by one as much as I can in my notes that I have discovered. Many things were mentioned. However, we had Ms. Ruby Martinez who came up and she actually gave an outstanding speech about what her concerns were about the city of Huntington. Her research was done pretty well because the fact is that she not only did she go off the facts, but she actually knows a lot of people as well. And she was merely determining, or she was merely stating for individuals that she knew what they wish they could have said if they were in front of the city council meeting. Her speech was researched, it was timely, and it was presented properly. It was not at any time I consider to be out of order. We know this because the mayor did not bang his gavel, did not call her to order, did not do anything of this nature. So her entire time was actually very professional. The next thing is that if we looked at is that this is the only time that I have seen in a city council meeting that actually a timer was used. Someone was actually used to record the time and say how much time they had left. I came in early, I came in later because of the fact that while she was giving her speech, I did not hear the first of this. However, I did get to hear the majority. However, I was not able to hear how much time that the city council actually had allotted her. However, we do know the egg timer went off and that she was not allowed to speak any further. I know this is not important to most of you, but I want to let you know something, that even though you don't like my videos, and I don't have too many in Huntington actually like my view. However, the fact is, I will say this, that maybe there's more than people from Huntington that are watching. Maybe there are other people who want to know the status of these individual items on the city council meeting and also what's going on in Huntington. Maybe some other people are watching. In the meeting, the key topic for discussion was the Neches River Valley Authority. They have had an agreement with the City of Huntington in the past where the City of Huntington could use their equipment, use their personnel for construction and for also highway repair. In other words, we would pay them for their time, we would pay for their gas, we would pay for their equipment, as long as they actually came and fixed our roads. This was presented and it was supposed to have an outstanding win. However, the fact is the judge stepped in. A judge stepped in and said that this is not illegal. This is not legal. Well, the only repercussion we had from us in the county commissioner was this is the way we've always done it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are learning slowly and surely that the way we always have done it is not working anymore, and it's against the law. No one approached this judge. No one had actually identified this issue from the public. This judge issued it based on the facts and ruled not only that this was illegal, however, it's been illegal in the past. So this is what my concern is going forward. How many other laws have we broken because we do it? We've always done it in the past. Number two on the item is that there was a proposal put forward that were taking bids on road repair. On the road repair, that was slotted from the city $90,000. However, the fact is that if the matter is that we run over, then the development commission would kick in. This development engine would come kick into the bringing of the balance. There was no word given on how much this balance could be. They never issued a ceiling from what they could actually commission employment center. I think I'm sorry, I'm nervous, but anyway, from our development center, they were going to actually say that they would kick in the difference. There was no law, there was nothing given to our development committee, how much that could possibly be. There was no ceiling provided on this for them to decide on. It was merely the word of our city manager said that he had talked to them and said they would provide whatever we need. This is a blanket statement. First of all, our developmental commission, city development commission, they only have $172,000 reported in the meeting. How much of that is going to be used for the gap that's left between us and our road repairs? We don't know this. We don't know if the CDC has said this. We don't know. We don't have any documentation. Matter of fact, we couldn't even ask the CDC because their representative didn't even make the meeting. So basically, what we're actually applying is the fact is that Mr. Stewart has made a promise to the citizens that CDC will cover the cost. How much we don't know, but neither does the CDC. Once again, we caught in the situation without saying things, without proven documentation. We don't have any writing that the CDC is responsible for the shortfall. We do not know, and we will never have the numbers on how much the shortfall actually is, and if it's actually true as a statement to the public saying how much the shortfall will be, how much of this did the CDC pay for. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, I'm opening up the fact that maybe the shuffling of funds will pay for this act. The main issue that I want to address is that we recently, in the last month, we've suffered a glitch that made people's water bills go up or down because of the fact there was a glitch in the system, apparently, that last month's carried over this month, didn't properly get cleared out. So basically, we got charged twice for 1 month. If you're not aware of this, then you can actually go to the city and they will correct it. However, who actually really knows that it was done or projected? Some people out there don't know what reason for their water bill to go up. I think maybe in so many households, the kids are taking too many baths, or husbands can't use hot water to shave, keep their water bill from going up. So this brings us to the point of actually that our rates were increased. Like I said, they were. Being able to tell you that I've attended council meetings. It's $4 on water, $4 extra more on sewer, which basically comes out to $8 and some change. I think maybe when we do the research and we actually look at it, all the fees, I think it'll come close to $10. However, I'll go ahead and give it break evens and say, well, it's going to be probably closer to $9. All this was passed. We had no choice. It was already passed. The city council, the public hearing was offered. No one was there to oppose this. So the city council has to go by. The fact is that no one ever opposed it, so we could assume that this is okay. I propose that maybe there's some of this, if we had a number of individuals who attended this public hearing, that maybe the outcome would be different. I'm not saying they would not have raised the rates. Maybe they wouldn't have raised them so drastically. In other words, there would be a period of time, or could be an option, that we absorb these costs gradually over time. Each year, the rates go up just a little bit instead of hitting us all at one time. This is just my proposal, but I'm sure there's many more individuals out there that would know and would agree to disagree that there's another way of option instead of hitting us all at one time. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we find out this morning, not at the city council meeting, however, the fact is that our public works director has resigned. We also find out today that because we failed to file, our public works director forgot to file or did not file the results for the report to Texas for 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, this includes our water as well. So now we actually decide that our city council is being fined and they have been fined for the violation. And I want to know who's paying for it, whose money are they going to be taking. It wasn't our fault. They didn't file a report. But you can bet, Bippy, we're going to be ones who actually come forward, and we're actually going to be we're actually going to actually pay for the violation. Maybe that'll cover it in our water bill raising, our sewer bill. I don't have the terms to tell you how it affects each household, because the fact is that each household is different, the amount of the water that they use. So to go through all those parameters would be meaningless, or they would just be case by case. It'd just be one case. So I challenge the individuals to look at your water consumption and look how much this raise is going to affect you. This, by the way, is going to be taken in. This is going to be effective as of October the 1st. Now, it wasn't explained whether it was going to start raising the bills as of October 1st, and are we going to be responsible for September on the October the 1st? That's a question they didn't answer. So in other words, it leaves it up to doubt. Okay, we're going to be billed for September or October amount. Kind of seems that way, but we can't get no answers either way. I will admit some positive things. Sheriff Epperly last night did recognize something that I had recommended, that our police department look into protective equipment. Bulletproof vest, kind of expensive, but at least we've got them to say, you know what, we need bullet resistant vest. They quoted the case that I gave them of the Dallas police officers, which is not really that far from us. He wasn't wearing their protective gear, ending up 5 dead and a couple more shot. So we have taken that protective measure. I have sent over an email to Sheriff Epperly all the research that I have done on how the police department can obtain grants to qualify and get this protective equipment as required. It is very suspicious of me that the city council has not already addressed this issue, because these grants that we can apply for through the city, they don't have to need city reaction or action. The sheriff can actually put together the grant. He can receive that grant personally, or not personally, but for his department. But the kicker is, the fact is, whatever grant they receive, and in whatever amount they receive, this money cannot be put into a general fund. This fund is set apart for this law enforcement officers of the city of Huntington, for equipment they need for continuing education, for range qualifying, things of this nature. Things that they have pointed out that they are not required, it's not against the law. But every city in the county and abroad go by these requirements. The National Transportation Board, NHTSA, have came out with an article. I forwarded it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from the U.S. Department of Transportation. This is against the law in Texas, but by God, it is in the United States. You have to follow these recommendations. If you don't, you're actually accountable. If you're not accountable to the state of Texas, apparently. But I bet you're accountable to the government. To give you an example of what I'm talking about is that it's not a state issue of what the determination of 0.08 on if you're drinking and driving. It's got to be over 0.08. This pretty much is a national standard. We pretty much all go by this rule because it's set down by our government and suggested by Transportation Safety Board that, hey, 0.08. Another example is that now, because of the TSA, we have requirements for safety seats for our children. We have requirements on how they're made, if they're safe, and how we deploy them. We utilize those laws. So who's to say does Texas not have to follow those laws just because they're mandated by Department of Transportation or NHTSA? So we see once again Huntington gets to pick and choose what we actually follow. The council meeting, I will say overall, was done very professionally because we did have some citizens that came out just to see what's going on. After the meeting, we had concerned citizens that wanted to ask questions and wanted to talk. That's all I've ever been asking for is people to get together and talk about the issues that we have in the city. This started to happen. Whether it's questions, complaints, concerns, or admiration of the council, these people were talking. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I was always said that, you know what, we need to get a place to start. But we've actually took a good first step by the individuals who actually came in and listened to that city council meeting, and now they've got questions. Today, I have just sent out a formal example in my room, Huntington Proof and Facts. Facts and Proof. Well, Huntington Facts and Proof. That's what it is. I can't remember my own name. Anyway, look it up. Huntington Facts and Proof. And I have sent out many times by request an example of how to fill out a Freedom of Information Act. It's very, very simple. Just need a guideline to go by. And you can actually do it online. All you've got to do is write up your complaint, or write up your, not complaint, but you write up what documents you want to see, and you paste it to their website on huntington.org. They have a contact situation. They have a contact page on there. It says, let us know what you think. Well, a lot of individuals today are actually putting it on that website and wanting to know what we think and wanting to know and see these documents. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say that every report we've got, even though last 2 weeks I've heard people say that, you know what, our dogs out here can't be caught. Well, we wouldn't know about it because our dog catcher says, you know what, we got it all under control. I don't know. Did you guys complain to him about the dogs roaming? I know my wife did because we had a shepherd coming season. There's a bunch of visitors we had, and I don't know where they come from. And I've heard, and I've gotten feedback from that says, you know, us too, we're doing that too, you know. So I know that's trivial. However, the fact is that it just goes to prove that sometimes what they say is being done is not really actually fact. The city council did handle themselves more properly and more professionally at this meeting than I've ever seen. However, there's still one issue that I've got out there because the fact is that every time there was a vote or motion come up, everybody said yay. I don't know if our city council realizes they can say no. If the city manager and the mayor want us to pass, you should be able to vote what you believe and not have any repercussions. Forming a city government does not mean that you have to agree with everything that's actually put forward. A good city council member would actually does and votes what's better for the entire people, north, south, east, and west. I guess they haven't done that yet. However, the fact is our city council needs to be advised and need to understand, you know, what position that they hold. Any decision they make from behind that desk that affects the people of Huntington, they are liable just like the mayor and the city council, city manager, just like the rest. See, there's a record being provided in those minutes. And in those minutes, it decides how you voted. It shows how you voted, yea or nay. So if you vote yay on a particular item that's against the law, then you're pretty much held liable too because you witnessed it and you went for it. Just like the ban on city council, on the city hall, city council meetings, public buildings, they tried to ban citizens from actually entering. Every one of them was in on that, even though the complaint was filed by our city manager, who that's out of his scope. They don't have that right to act. If anything, it would have came from the mayor or maybe a city council. And the whole case is going to revolve around the fact is, was I warned? No, nobody warned me. I don't want to go into my case. I will say you this. Earlier of this taping, I will say you this: that right now there's a lot more people in Washington just from the people of the city of Huntington. We have Mr. Knight from the Lufkin News who's actually coming down and actually listening to these laws and proposals. We have Cameron, who has actually written on the front page of the Lufkin News about this dilemma that involves the city of Huntington. Ladies and gentlemen, because of these acts by our city council and because of them actually blatantly breaking the laws, they have forced people to take a look, start questioning their laws and their motivation. So as I said in my trial, if you think it's just going to be there and go away, I'm sorry to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot of eyes watching you on this one today or tomorrow. Not only eyes of the city of Huntington, but also eyes across the state from concerned citizens around the United States who all state that what's going on in Huntington is against the law. And who state that what's going on there cannot be allowed in the United States. But what do I know? I don't know. I just go off the opinions of others who actually look at the situation, and they say it's so. Like I've always said, all I do is I just put out the facts, and I explain those facts and what they mean. I stopped doing that because everybody doesn't want to hear my opinion. That's fine. I'll just put out the facts until you actually get it. Today's fact is because of our water, there are many questions that came up about the quality of our water. An interesting question that came up was the fact is that how much chlorine is in our water. Well, searching today on my recent links, I found out that there's a level of chlorine that's unsafe, that's identified by the CDC. Right now in Huntington, we have a warning that has been set out by the mail that elderly and our children should not drink the water. That should be a sign right there, people. Man, why not? How much chlorine is in that water? What's in the water? The long-term effects of chlorine are always been discussed. I had an individual on here said, well, you know what? Rats drank the chlorine and they died, but it has no effect on people. Aren't you actually listening to what you're saying? Or in your right mind, would you know that you're drinking something that killed the rat? I don't know about you, but I learned in school that you know what, one of the last damn animals that's gonna be alive after nuclear war is either gonna be a cockroach or a rat, because they can take anything. So have you thought about what you just said? You're willing to drink water and allow other people, young kids and old kids, to drink water that'll kill a rat because of chlorine. How much is illegal? Well, how much is legal? Well, it's actually four parts. Yeah, it's actually 4 parts clean water and 1 part chlorine. You may have the smell, but that doesn't mean it's not drinkable. However, the fact is, if you smell it, there is a warning that you need to check your level. We have resorted now to many individuals saying that they're testing their own waterborne themselves and are not waiting on the city. I implore everybody to do that. You can get them. I priced them out. You can do it yourself and have the answer back in a week. Some say they range from $5. The only ones I saw that I could get online, and like I said, I'm still doing research on ones I saw that I can get on those were about 100, 145. And I'm sure there's cheaper places, but I read the details of what I actually wanted to inquire about, and certain chemicals that I knew and proven by the CDC that are actually harmful to humans and harmful for rats too. So I'll be receiving that information, and I'm sure I'll share it to you as well. Um, but like I said, our water bill is questionable at best. The other thing I want to mention: how long does it take? What college do you have to go to make a correlation between sewer water getting in our pipes and the amount of sewer that is being projected? Good question, huh? Or maybe not. But anyway, we were informed last night that we have a major sewer leak in the city of Huntington. It is on the main line. Production of sewer, output of sewer has not been discovered. I mean, it's all been detained. All we know is there's sewer leaking from a main line in Huntington, and we're gonna have to go back and fix it. That's scheduled down the road. But let me ask you a question: between now and when they actually fix it, how much of that water is coming out have been exposed to that sewer leak that we have? I don't know. I don't understand the correlation or the education that it takes for someone to realize you got a water problem and there's a sewer problem. Water problem, sewer problem. They're both liquid. What happens if they intermix? But no, I'm a dumbass for being in Texas. And guess what? I don't know nothing, but I can't tell you one thing. Maybe I got common sense, because I'll tell you right now, if I know I got a sewer issue and I got water leaking on my property, sewer, the first thing I'll be concerned about is it getting in my water. And if there's a doubt, I'm going to start drinking the water until I get it fixed. Or let's get it tested. Why can't our city do the same? Ladies and gentlemen, everybody has already read the article on the front page of Lufkin News, where the correlation was made between Lufkin and also from Huntington. I spoke to the author of that article, and I said that it was actually misconfused. Go away, boy. Yeah, go ahead. You know how to open the door. I actually told him that it was confused, because it's confusing because the fact is he compared Huntington or Lufkin to Huntington. Now, if you look at that paper and you look at all of what they're doing, they've encompassed state law, the law for a transportation society, the federal law, and they're actually doing it correctly. Lufkin is actually doing it correctly. But you go on to the other side on the interview, and you determine very quick, asking the same questions of Huntington, we don't have no answers. We have questions now. How long have we fell behind? How long has our records not been up to date? That seems like a pretty good amount of time. I don't really seem to know why people don't get it, or our city council doesn't understand that you got to look at your validity of your tickets. I had one person say, well, you know what, then you have to bring it back to court, and the judge has to rely on it again before they'll actually issue a ruling. Well, no, you already had your day in court. Statute of limitations on tickets you don't have. So the fact is, you already had your day in court and you got slapped with a fine. How many can notice the problem there? Was it actually legal? Which brings up another question that people are missing and that haven't done their research. And it flies by because maybe we don't know what it is, or we just don't know how serious it is. But an officer with a badge and a gun, or has a city official, or serves a town in a position of a city official, they are held responsible for the rules that they make up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called the color of the law. Look it up. If one of our officers issues a ticket that's illegal, which he knows is true or not known is true, he's subject to liable. He's liable too. Why is that important? Well, because the fact is, a city official just can't go around and make up laws because he's the mayor or the city council or city chief or whoever he is. You just can't go and make up laws. They have to be concise with United States law, i.e., it has to be a precedent somewhere. Is it in the courts? Is it in committee? Because if it is, you can't not decide to go by it until it's proven yes or no. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just some of the things that I have and some questions that I have, and maybe people will hit me back. I'll be glad to answer anybody's questions with the documentation that I have. Once again, I'm kind of spitballing here on the city council procedures, things I went over my notes and I had to address. And like I said to Huntington, I said it a couple of times, but freedom of information, you can use it. It's your documents. If you have questions and they won't show you, and you don't think they're telling you the truth, get that. Request the documents, so you can make an educated decision, not just based on what somebody told you. I don't know where, I don't know why, and how this happened, but somewhere along the line, we started trusting people and not holding them accountable. A great man once taught me one time, believe half of what you read, nothing that believe half of what you see and nothing that you read. That's the very essence of our government. Is people asking why? Questioning why? How come? Who said so? This is a way of checks and balances that we have as a community. We had more people in last night in our city council than we normally have. I'm great. I'm grateful. I'm glad to see that citizens are taking and paying attention to what this meeting all is about. And every one of them that I know when I was talking about, they all have questions when they were leaving. I'm providing today the way to get those answers at the Freedom of Information Act. It's very simple. If you want it directly, if you want the example sent directly to you, just hit me and I will do it. I post it on my website as well. On my site as well. So there's no reason why you can say, well, I don't know how to do that. Nobody told me. Well, you're listed. It's there. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, yes, my trial starts tomorrow. I'm not going to go into the details of it because the fact is the truth is going to start coming out tomorrow. I urge the city of Huntington to keep up with the trial. Nobody's going to be there, I know. Not from Huntington. But you can bet your bippy there's going to be some reporters there, and there's going to be some people inside the county who actually care and want to know what's going on in Huntington. There are going to be some questions that are going to be asked. So the result of this actual trial that's actually going on, let's ask ourselves one question. Why is he doing it all? Well, there's one thing that the city of Huntington cannot stand and do not need at this present time, and that is exposure to the ways that they're actually handling the city's business. But I am actually instituting a crime and banning an individual from a city building and a public meeting. That's a crime. How many more are we going to find? These individuals will all be subpoenaed, and you know what? They'll all be up on the stand. And if you think these are not too pertinent cases, well, guess what? Let me make you understand, because we need to actually subpoena these individuals to find out if they believe it was actually interrupting a meeting. Interrupting a meeting that the video doesn't even show. And they're going to have the question, why is that? Interrupt a meeting when 4 or 5 people done the same thing 5, 6 times ago. This is all here and there, but the case is going to get interesting. And there's going to be a lot of questions asked, like I said. And the thing about this case, a lot of times when city council does something, or city of Huntington and their officials do something, too many times we're not told the truth, or we get the runaround. But this time during this proceedings, there's one thing that's going to be a fact. It's that these individuals, these official members, are actually going to have to be under subpoena, and they're going to have to testify. Is it worth it? Yeah, I believe so. Because I want to put these people in a chair and have them lie to the Lord, because lying to us, they just don't seem to care. So let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm Steve. Y'all can hit me at Huntington Facts and Proof. I'm there all the time. I let anybody in. I don't kick you out that much. I'll warn you first. Okay, I learned that lesson. You got to warn somebody before you kick them out. How about that be? So hit me up at huntington.com. It's kind of blowing up today because all this information I want to make sure that I got on here, not to get any attention from it, just to make sure that the people who didn't actually get to go to this website or those sites that are actually on this only on the subject are concerned about the city of Huntington, maybe put you in the right direction. Y'all have a blessed day. Y'all go ahead and y'all stay inside. Dang, y'all see that? It was 104. They had a 104-degree heat index warning yesterday in Zavala. It was 104 or something. Can you believe that? I don't know, but I see somebody out here in Huntington mowing your yard. I stopped and told him, I said, man, you better get back up in that house. Next thing I come back from getting me a soda at the store, my phone said, you fall all out. Anyway, I digress, and I hope that you'll watch this video. If not, I'm sure that a lot of other people will. But as for now, I'm signing off, and I'll see you